Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for attending our webinar about living and investing in Portugal. My name is Paulo Silva. I'm founder partner of RAX Portugal, a boutique, real estate boutique focused on service client. Our goal is to reach to the desire of our clients. So I'm going to explain in a few words what is our job. We do before, during, we have a process is before, during and after. So before, what we do is contact with our client, have a meeting, send a survey for them to say what they want to invest, to buy, to rent, whatever. And after receiving their feedback, we're going to search on the market, what exists on the market, and select some properties to present. After sending the presentation, our client will select some properties to visit, and the end of the before is to do the visits. During the process, we do the visits, and also we will be attending all the due diligence on the visit. If it is for mainly for the legal procedures, or if it is to show also the surroundings of the properties, if it is to see if the house, the apartment, wherever it is in the good state. So this is all done during the process. That ends with the deed. Okay, after the deed, what we want to say is that our client will never be alone after. So we will attend the client since the beginning till there is no end. So the client must know that they can be with us. They can call us anytime for the after. What is the after? They will need some support about concierge activities. And then they can have us helping them to open a bank account, water, electricity, whatever they need. Okay. So, in resume, step by step, we visit the houses, we do the due diligence process. Then there is, of course, an offer. We negotiate the best offer for our clients. Very important is the promise contract is the most important document to be signed, and finally the deed. So, in resume, this is the job of RAX Portugal. Now Oswaldo will explain on detail all these things that I spoke right now.
Thank you very much, Paulo. Hello, everyone. Thank you for attending. I'm just keep continuing what's Paulo and what you must know and what you need to watch out when you're buying a property in Portugal. Here, the most important thing is that you need to verify the documents of the houses. So we have been reached by many expats during the process, and you must be aware of all the information that must be provided to you during the process of buying. So first document that you must be aware is all the mandatory documents that must be provided to you in order to verify the conditions of the house. So you will need to verify the habitation license, the building license, the property tax documents, also the energy rating certificate, and the housing technical data sheet. This is very important, and the real estate will provide you, the real estate agent will provide to you in order to verify together with the real estate agent to verify this document. Other important document that you need to check is the license with the town hall. Why? Because you need to verify if the house is registered in the municipality, and if you have the license to habit the house, to live in the house, or to explore the house. You must also be aware to verify the layout plan, to verify the bond of the property that you are buying. This is also important when you are buying different types of lands or houses, because you need to verify if this houses is duly registered in the town hall, all the bounds and all the details of this construction. Another important thing that you must be aware, we know that is different from each country, is that the payment in Portugal, when you pay the sign-off for the promissory contract, the payment is made for the owner and to in the bank account of the owner of the house. This is very common. And how you can avoid any problem when you are buying this property? You are thinking, okay, I will pay for the owner, but what is my, how can I ensure that I will have my money back in case of any breach? So hacks, they usually recommend for the clients that they proceed with the prior registration on the property documents on the property registration, okay, in the competent authority. This is also important in order to ensure that you will have your money back in case if the owner give up on to proceed with the deed. And if you decide also to proceed with the buying process, you can ensure that your promissory contract is duly registered on the property registration. With regards to the technical property report, after 2004, it's mandatory that you have this technical report where you can verify where all the electricity go, the pipes is passing on the wall, so you can verify all the specific property report. Okay, so this is most important, and we recommend you when you are looking to buy a property to verify all of these documents. Then I will pass to the immigration process regarding the visas. We know that many Americans want to live and are looking for Portugal, to immigrate to Portugal, and I will explain what is the best option for you in terms of visa. So first, Portugal, as you must be aware, Portugal is one of the most secure and peaceful place in the world that offers you a wonderful quality of life. We have very good and amazing universities and schools that is also ranked in the higher education world university ranking. Portugal is also offer you a very favorable taxation where you can apply for the non-habitual resident, where you have you can exempt tax for a period of 10 years. And we are also offer a very good succession planning, offering you a regime of free transmission. So to start your process of immigration, what's the main question that you must ask? So what is your main purpose? Is the investment or is the immigration itself? Do I have all the necessary requirements to apply for the visa? Can I stay more than 183 days in Portugal? And how much do I want to invest? How much money I want to buy a property, or I just want to live on a retirement? So there is two good options that now most of the expats are exploring, is the D7 visa, D2 visa, and the golden visa. The D7 and the D2 visa, they are long-term visas and for residence purpose. The D7 is a visa that is designed for retirement people, okay, for retired, or the people that live out from an individual revenue, like rental, like investment funds, your pension funds. So this is designed for you. If you have all of these requirements, you can apply for a D2. But we are also have been reached by many people that they are independent professional and they perform usually more nowadays during the COVID-19 that they are work online. So you can also apply for the D2 visa that is for to exercise independent professional activity or for immigrants and entrepreneurs that wants to set up a business in Portugal or keep continuing offering and assisting clients overseas. Uh, in the end, we have the golden visa that is designed for the investors that don't want to live in Portugal for more than 183 days. They cannot be in Portugal for that. So you can make an investment. There is several types of investments for the golden visa, but I will explain more about the golden visa real estate that is suffering some changes, and this is very important to be aware. Uh, the real estate, you can invest in a property of 500K or in a real estate of 3,500K. Uh, what is important? What is the difference between those two? So the first is that you're going to invest in a property, brand new property, or you can share this investment in four, and that the aggregate will the sum will be 500,000 euros. Okay, and the other option when we have 3,500K, you need to acquire a property where the construction is dating back more than 30 years or located in an urban regeneration area. And you need to refurbish this property. Okay. We also have, you can reduce this amount when you receive these investments in low density territory in Portugal. But you must be aware that we are going through a transitional period in July 2001. And if you want to, if you're thinking about to invest in a golden visa, you must be aware of this changing, and you want to talk to Paulo and with tax as soon as possible to check these changes. So how is the working flow for the residency visa? The visa, first you need to choose what is the best option for you, what fits on your situation. Then you will prepare the documentation, so the general documents that you need. You will need a Portuguese tax number and a Portuguese bank account. This is to prove that you have the real intention to immigrate to Portugal, and this is mandatory by the U.S. consulates, by the U.S. Portuguese consulates. And without that, you cannot apply for a visa. And you also will need an accommodation. And when we are speaking about accommodation, you must have or a long-term lease agreement, or you can buy investment property. Okay. Then, in terms of specific documents, it will depend on your specific case, whether if you're applying for the D7 or for the D2 visa. So you will need to prove that you have passive incomes, or you will need to present several documents that will prove that you will keep performing your job overseas. Then you submit your application for the DFS in your area. Then, as soon as you receive the approval by the consulate, you can travel to Portugal with your visa. And here you will start the process for the residence card. After 5 years, you can apply for the citizenship, Portuguese citizenship, or for the permanent residency. And in both cases, you need to speak Portuguese. Okay, at least a little bit, and I'm sure that you will be speaking a lot of Portuguese after 5 years living in this beautiful country. So thank you for everyone. If you have any question, we'll be available after our presentation. And now I will pass to Jonathan, my colleague, to speak about Portugal.
Hi everybody, my name is Jonathan Vasconcelos. I'm a real estate and consultant in Portugal, in Brax, Portugal. We are this webinar, like my colleagues told you previously, is to give you some information about Portugal, about the process, and what I'm going to try also to do is to give you some information related to the partners that are available, the options that are available. Talk a little bit about north and south of Portugal and something crossing the northern and southern islands. Portugal, you have a lot of areas that you will be able to find good properties, lovely places to be living, and to enjoy your life in Portugal. One of the things that I will try to focus, of course, you will be able, Portugal, we try to divide it for the presentation, a little bit of some cities, some regions that can be really nice to be living. But Portugal, have in mind that Portugal, you have a lot to explore in Portugal. Have a lot of rural areas that are amazing, with amazing countryside views. We have places that is really breathtaking views for the ocean, for river, for mountains. You have a lot of things. We try to, of course, in the presentations, to give you a brief view about some areas that might be interesting, but have in mind that in Portugal, you will be able to find it from north to southern islands, a lot of amazing places, okay? In Lisbon, of course, Lisbon is the well-known capital of Portugal. You will have a lot of nice investment options or apartments to be living and to enjoy also the time that you want to spend in Portugal. Of course, Lisbon, you have, in terms of climate, it's a really nice climate during all year. We have maybe like two or 2 months or 3 months that is more chilly with the winter time, but it's not, even in the winter time, we have a lot of amazing sunny days. The cost of living in Lisbon, it's, of course, comparing to other places in Lisbon, of course, being the main city, you will have higher prices, but affordable comparing to, for instance, with the United States. In terms of infrastructures, you will be able to find the airports nearby, the metro, train, good connections in the region. You have a lot of nice restaurants. In terms of healthcare and hospitals, you will be surrounded by a lot of both private or also state hospitals, and you will have also universities that are top ranked in the world. You will have also a lot of things, beach nearby, also golf courses. You will have a lot of to explore in Lisbon. We have also Porto, that is similar in types of quality of life to Lisbon. Also with beautiful places to be living, with a lot of also opportunities to investment. In Porto at the moment, you will be able to find more attractive in terms of prices, investments. So if you are able, if you want to live nearby the city, you will be able nowadays even to find good options, because we also have in consideration some types of assets that you are able to refurb. So you have a downgrade, a huge downgrade of prices, and also wraps with a lot of clients that we have internationally. We have clients that want to buy, they have a budget, and we also give them options. Okay, if you buy it completely new, you will have this type of prices, this type of locations. But we also give you an option that we have the knowledge and we have the networking also to provide you that. But we can check some in the city, for instance, so we can check some opportunities that needs to be referred, and we will provide you the costs of that refurbishment. We will have the links and the networking about constructor builders that can make you for the best prices and within the secure way, because it's really important in all this process when you're investing abroad to know to have a networking that can provide you the most savior ways to do it. Because one of the things that I always try to tell to our clients is when you want to invest abroad, we always are unsure about some things. We always try to or go through somebody that we know that is living in that country and give us some reference, or somebody that we can follow, for instance, in the web and check some information globally. But one of the things that we provide as RUCs and all the clients that we work, in the end, they were happy with this, is that we are, like my colleagues told you previously, we go in all the process. And when you come to Portugal and we give the trust on us, we are able to provide you all the service. We were going to find all the information related to the houses or the apartments or the assets that you want to invest. We are going to check all the legal documentation of that, and everything that we do is under contracts with the owners or with the representatives of the owners. We need to have insurance with the contract to provide you the most safest way to invest in Portugal. Okay, and of course we have also in America some clients. For instance, an example that in a couple of weeks ago, Paulo was with some clients from America. They were traveling from the center to north of Portugal, finding in the rural areas and also other areas. The clients wanted some specific assets, and Paulo went. For instance, he went with with the clients through 4 days. They spent together a lot of time, being on the same hotel, trading some experience here, and Paulo was able to let them know exactly what they wanted, and provide them all the information and things that they didn't even imagine that was possible. Paulo showed them what they need to do it on a safest way, because of course when you invest abroad, you have some time consuming that you have to not use it. You have a lot of money showing bumps along the way, and what RUCs does it is that in this process those type of things doesn't exist for you. So you have the most safety process, and also not being spending money in a lot of things that can appear. That is something that we will be focused on, okay, to make this process really clean, safe, and not be spending money on not in things that is not necessary. Okay. Also, after Porto, we have also Braga that lately is a lot of people is looking for Braga. Braga is beautiful. It's really beautiful place to be living, with a lot of nice things that you have in Braga, like Bom Jesus de Braga, that is in the picture that you can see. You have a lot of amazing views in Braga. At this moment, you are able to buy for really good prices new houses and new apartments within condos, with all the looks involved in those condos. And in Portugal, we are a really safe country, so we don't speak about security all the time. But in Braga, you will be able to live peacefully with a lot of infrastructures also because it's nearby Porto. You have hospitals and also a lot of in the previous in years we are able to see also a lot of people that is interested in Braga that are coming to live abroad to work in digital areas because also Braga developed that, and also people that want just to be living peaceful and they decided to go to Braga, and we have a lot of people that came from abroad to live there. Okay, so for instance, we have Coimbra, that is in the center of Portugal. That is a really well-known city in Portugal. That it's based and the city is under the culture of the University of Coimbra. That is one of the most well-known universities in the world, and also in Portugal with a lot of history. In Coimbra, we are in the center of Portugal. We are going to be able to be in between Lisbon and Porto. So in terms of infrastructure, you will be able to easily be able to have access to trains, to quick access also to the airports, to international schools, to hospitals. And in Coimbra, lately, we are having a lot of people from abroad that wants to invest in Coimbra because you are able to buy some lands, some farms, some apartments for really good prices. And a lot of people is checking for Coimbra. Coimbra and near Coimbra, also the region nearby Coimbra, with, for instance, Viseu and others, they had a huge in the past years a huge number of people coming from abroad to living in these areas because you are able at the moment, of course, to buy it for really good prices, cheaper prices. The costs of the lands are really cheap in comparison to other regions of Portugal, and you are really able to make a lot of good investments in this area. And Coimbra is also a really nice place to be living. For instance, if you want to be living in Coimbra to work on the digital areas or to work in other areas, or just to live safely with your retirement, with a lot of good conditions, health conditions, the conditions to be walking around the streets during the evening, also with a lot of good restaurants. You will be able to have parks, the nature surrounding the nature and the river. So Coimbra is also a really good option in this matter. One of the other places we are going to focus is Algarve, that is really well known for the cold and amazing beaches that they have, cold sand beaches. The weather is always Mediterranean weather that is always warm during the all year. I think in Algarve they are not, they don't see winter for more than 2 or 3 weeks. It's an amazing place to be living. Algarve is really, really beautiful. It's surrounded with a lot of golf courses. It's well known in the world because also with courses of golf courses that we have in the world in Algarve. You have a lot of international schools because you have a lot of big community of international people that comes from abroad that is living there. And you have a lot of investments that are still possible in some areas of Algarve to find lands and properties and houses with really cheap places, cheap prices. You are able to find it still. And this is also for Algarve is amazing for somebody that wants to have an amazing life in the retirement. You will be able to have all the all the conditions that you can imagine. You can be able to go to the mountain sides, to the beach sides, to be near the beach, to have everything surrounding you, like healthcare, like spas, like everything that you imagine. An airport nearby, also good connections to by train rails or by car, everything. Algarve has it all, and it's an amazing also place to be living and to invest. I'm not going to be talking so specifically. Of course, one of the things that we want to tell you is that you are able, all the information that you want, of course, afterwards we will provide you. And we are here, like we said it, we are also the buyer agents that will be in all the process next year. And I'm not going to tell you this just for commercial purposes, but all the clients that we have, and mostly abroad international clients, we always, of course, we treat our clients all the same, even though if they live in Portugal and they are Portuguese clients and they live and they know the country and they know the rules of the country, we treat them the same way, because one of the most focus that we have is to make this process with all step by step, with contracts and with safetiness on the process, because we are talking about people's money, people that want to invest what they fight in their life, and they want to retirement, they want to invest in something that they will be able to have a good quality of life. So we are here in all the steps as a buyer agent to provide all the information to make the process of buying in all safety matters, because I'm focusing in this because it's really important. Because sometimes I can just think, okay, I want to go to Portugal. I heard that Portugal is amazing and there has a lot of quality of life. I did some checking in the web, and I've seen some international reviews that talk about expats and retirement places to live or something. So maybe I just check in the web, check something and try to do it by myself. But you have a lot of risks in this type of process, because sometimes you can buy something that in the reality is not, for instance, 100 square meters, but is 50, because they can announce it that is 100, but is in reality is 50. You can come to here and try to buy it, and you just did something. Okay, let's do it for $10,000, and two weeks later, something can happen. They say, "Oh, I'm sorry, but it's not 10,000; it's 15 or 20." Or you can come here and you're trying to buy something, and they said, "Okay, you will be able to have access to the asset in 2 months," and then it can happen that you will only be able to be in that asset in 1 year. So this is what we can provide. Is that if we tell you that is in this, imagine we say it's 100 square meters, is because it is, because we've done a work before that allow us, with lawyers, with the buyer agents in the area, with our networking, to be sure that it's really 100 square meters. We are not going to, if they tell us that the house will be able to be, you have access in 2 months, they will have to provide us information and we will have contracts that has to say that in 2 months, the house has to be ready for you to come in. And if it's not, they will have to pay you something because of that. And this is our work. And I'm not doing it for commercial purposes, just because we have a lot of clients that come from international. Some came through other links or other networking, or some came from by themselves to do that work, and things didn't went quite good, and then they had to come to us. But when they came to us, it was a little bit later, not late because we were able to resolve the problem, but they had some time consuming, that they waste money that was waste during that process. And that's why we are able to provide you this type of stuff, because we have the knowledge, we have the links, the networking, and we know the rules in Portugal. Okay. This regarding the square meters and the prices, I'm not going to be focusing in all them. We have these prices here. Just to give you a quick view, afterwards we will be able to provide you all the information. For instance, if you want to invest in Braga, you will be able to find like typologies of T2s. So from starting from 101 K, 101K of euros, you will be able also to find in Viana do Castelo, that is also more, it's a mix of countryside and also some cityness indeed. Also, you will be able to find houses, for instance, a typology of 4 bedrooms around 105. Also, you can see prices higher is also another other types of investments, but you will be able to have surrounding like 100, 1500 euros per square meter in this type of areas. Okay, that is really amazing prices for Europe at the moment. We have also, for instance, in Braga, that is, in Braga and Faro, we are talking about two really good, amazing cities that has a lot of good new constructions, a lot of nice things to be living. You will still have prices surrounding 1500 to 2000 euros a square meter. Of course, when we come to Lisbon and Porto, you can check it that Lisbon, of course, is the most expensive area to city to be living in Portugal. Of course, of everything that we know about Lisbon, and of course, Lisbon has a lot of things, and it's, or even though it's the prices is higher, it's still an amazing investment. For instance, for somebody that wants to buy in Portugal, have in mind that we are talking about surrounding 3 and 4 thousand, or in between 5, maybe in some cases, euros per square meters. When we come here to Spain, nearby us in Madrid, that is like 10,000 euros a square meter. So we are still in Portugal. You are able to have the same conditions, for instance, as Spain and other countries, access to everything the same, but in the half of the price in terms of square meter. Okay, because it's growing in the last years. Of course, I have to be honest. Year by year, Portugal is growing a lot in terms of square meters. The price is going higher and higher, but we still have a big gap to instance for Barcelona or to Paris or to Manchester or to Munich. We are still like 2 times lower that price. Okay, and we have something that a lot of those countries doesn't have. That is the quality of life in terms of food, of also in terms of the weather. This is really important to be telling. Okay, in terms of what we can help you find in Portugal, we still have a lot of things to do. You can go to lands or farms that you will be able to find a lot in Portugal still. Take in mind that Portugal, the rural areas, it's you have a lot, maybe it's like 10% of people is living in the rural areas. In the last 10 years, this rate grew a lot because we have a lot of international investment, and we see a lot of beautiful things being built in the rural areas of Portugal. Okay, in terms of houses, we have all the typologies, like previously Paulo said. We have a lot of things that we can offer. Even if we don't have in our database those type of apartments, we will go directly to the owners, or through a networking of other agencies that we work with, all them in Portugal. And you will still have apartments that you can find, villas, and you have all the types of things that you can imagine in terms of real estate. We are able to provide. Okay, so the most important thing for us is to know what you want and what you need. Okay, and one of the things that before I let all you guys, I want to just to tell you something that take in mind, that in Portugal is English is widely spoken. Okay, so when you come, you are able to find a lot of people that will be speaking in English, because lately it's something that grew in the cities, and also in the rural area. You have some people that can speak, but you will be able in all the process to have people that can speak fluent English. Okay, and also the cost of living in here in Portugal, to have in actions, you can dine in a Michelin starred restaurant for $28-30. Okay, a person, and also you can rent a month like $500, a golden sand island in or also view of the sea, And also, you can go to golf courses, well-known and ranked golf courses for $50, for instance. Okay, and you have health insurance in Portugal that is in between $10 to $20 a month. Okay, so this is what I could give you, and I hope to see you from here. Every question that you have, we will be able here tonight. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Oswaldo, for your clarification. I think it was very clear that our work is based on under measure work. So what we want to be is a buyer agent for all our clients. And as Jonathan just said, he gave a simple example of healthcare. I know that many people ask about that. So we can provide information about that. We can provide prices about that. We are independent company. So I invite you to meet us, to have a conference call with us. But before that, we are now ready to answer all your questions. Try to answer all your questions. The one that we cannot answer right today, we will answer after. So thank you again for attending our webinar. Now we're going to see, before the Q&A, we're going to see a fantastic video about Portugal. It was done by the Tourism of Portugal. Hope you'll be happy to see it.
Only you can make all this world seem right.
Nur du kannst die Dunkelheit erstrahlen.
Solo tú puedes emocionarme, traerme ese color.
Remplis mon cœur d'amour que pour toi.
Only you puedes lograr ese cambio en mí.
C'est bien vrai, tu es ma destinée. Dame tout, tu és o meu único destino.
És o meu sonho real, o meu único tudo.
Seulement toi.
All this change in me es que es verdad.
Du bist mein Bestimmung.
When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you.
Visit our sea, our sun, our heritage, and our culture. Only you can continue to make us the best destination in the world. Visit Portugal.
So thank you for attending our webinar. The sound was not so great, but we are here to attend all your questions. I have here a few questions that were made, so I'm going to read, and Oswaldo will answer some of the questions already made.
Some questions were already answered while the webinar was passing. So one of the first question is, can the investment be made in the form of a home purchase? Oswaldo.
Thank you, Paulo. Thank you, everyone, to attend our meeting. Yes, we have been reached by investors that want to acquire properties in co-ownership. Even if you're buying just as investment, or if you're buying to apply for the golden visa, you can buy in co-ownership. You can buy as a company also. But you need to be aware that when you buy specifically for the golden visa, both of the partners, they must invest the same amount for the golden visa. So imagine that you have a partner and both of you want to have the 500,000 euros real estate golden visa. So both of you need to invest 500,000 euros in order to acquire the property and invest and apply for the golden visa. But if you're just thinking about to invest in a property and you are not interested on the golden visa, you can buy a property in co-ownership.
Okay. Another question is, what is the lowest investment required?
Yes, I think it was a question made by Andrew or by Oscar. I just let me see here, Gary. Yes, Gary. So for the D7 and the D2, when we are talking about the minimum investment, in general, let's speak about a couple. So when you when a couple is applying for the D7 or for the D2, you must prove at least an average salary per person per month. So it's 700 euros a month per person. But as soon as you want to apply for the visa, you need to fund your bank account in Portugal with 1 year in advance. So for you and for your wife, your husband, your partner, so you must fund this bank account with at least, let's say, so the more is the best. So as soon as you have 8,000 euros in your bank account per person, it's okay to apply for the visa. Okay, and you don't need to keep this amount during the whole period of the residence, because you will have expenses with rental, with food, so you don't need to worry about that. They just want to know that you have funded this bank account prior to the application for the visa.
Okay, thank you, Oswaldo. Another question is about, I think you will talk about it, but it's a question that is made by a lot of people, is what kind of healthcare is available to new residents?
Yeah, most of the expats, they are looking for, they are worried about the healthcare system and the healthcare insurance here. And I know that Americans most, they care about this. So in terms of healthcare insurance, we have private insurance where you can apply. We have several providers, several companies that provide private healthcare insurance. We have different types of covers and different types of that you can hire. Most of them you can hire on your bank when you we have some banks that they provide you with certain companies where they have agreement, and you can apply for the health insurance there. And in terms of amount, you will expend the basic. So let's say for people like 30s, you can have you can pay like 20 per month, up to 100. So it will depend on the cover that you want to apply for. But yes, but an additional information that you must be aware is that as soon as you arrive in Portugal and you have your residence card, you can also use the national healthcare system and go to the public hospital, where you pay just a fee for a consultation, or for surgery, or for procedures. So it will depend on your specific situation, but you can also apply for, and you can use the healthcare national healthcare system here, which is very well known, and you don't need to spend with a private the private insurance. But we have like different types of healthcare insurance here.
Okay, so now I'm going to make a question to Jonathan. He already spoke about it, but what is one of the questions is, what is the best city investment for the retired people?
Yeah, Paulo, in this question, of course, it depends of the type of things that people want. For instance, if people want to live the retirement, or to live in near the beach, or near the countryside, or near the city, you will. I think one of the things that is the most important is in terms of infrastructures. You have, of course, Algarve for people that wants to live nearby the sea and have city quality also in those areas, because in terms of infrastructures, they have it all. They have airports, they have good healthcare system with a lot of hospitals. Also, a lot of things that can be done on those areas. But of course, Porto, Braga, Coimbra, Lisbon, of course, also. But it depends. It depends a little bit of. We will have opportunities for all types of what people are looking for, because you have, to be honest, if you want to go to countryside, I would suggest, of course, in between Alentejo, Coimbra, and the north of Portugal, you will be able to find a lot of quality of life, and also surrounded by infrastructures.
Okay, so that means in Portugal you have retired people that choose mainly houses with land, meaning where they're going to find, they can find it in Algarve, also in the center of Portugal and on the north. Not big cities is more for apartments, I would say. But if we are talking with for Americans, and Americans love to live in the countryside, have a house with a garden, so that part in Portugal is more in the center and in the north, and also in the Algarve near the beach.
Yes.
One of the questions that is made also, Jonathan, is the average of the cost of living in Portugal. What is the minimum for a family of 4 people, thinking that we are talking a couple and 2 children?
In my example, of course, I have two sons, and I'm married, so we are a family of 4. It depends. It depends. Of course, we are talking. It depends of the options that we want and what type of life we want. but to have a good normal average quality of life, I would say that in Portugal you will be able to around 1,000 to $1,200 a month. You will be able to have a good quality of life. But in these factors, we always have to put it on the balance that you have people in Portugal, a family of four that lives under $1,000 a month, because it depends also in the options that you have to that you want to take, and what the type of schools. If you want to go to public schools in Portugal are really well known and well ranked, so it's not a concern. We don't have to choose private because we want more quality, because you will find that quality in private in public schools, public hospitals. We are top ranked in the world. We are 14 in the world. So we have what we call the SNS, that is the national healthcare in Portugal. So you are able to be provided 100% of the cost. So if you take those options in terms of costs, you can go to a restaurant for a table of four. Maybe you will be able to spend like 30 euros. So you are able to live under this average amount.
Yes, the cost of life is it's very, I would say, very cheap, and we are on the top, not only on the cost of life but on the quality of life. We are all on the when we compare with the most of the countries, we are always on the top about that. It's a statistic. It's not what we just per se, but is a fact, right?
Yes, no, it is a fact, and also in terms, I will take this opportunity that we are talking about this and respond to Cesar Gutierrez. That Cesar Gutierrez was asking something that is healthcare offered by a number of different private organizations, or it's all one government organization. For instance, you have a lot of private companies that provide you that service and provide you healthcare services that allow you to go to the private hospitals, and it starts for like $10, but you have a lot of well-known that gives
per month, $10,
yeah,
€10
$10 a month, 10 euros per month. And because in the public sector, we don't need, if you are living in Portugal and you have a residency in Portugal, you will be able to have access to the public sector hospitals. So we don't in the public hospitals, we don't have a type of healthcare insurance or something like that. The insurance is all to the private sector, that allows you to go to private hospitals. But even though, and also you will not have costs in the public sector.
Okay, and just one more question for you, Jonathan, and it's a funny question. Are Americans typical welcomed in Portugal based on current events? This is a tricky question.
Yes. Here, first of all, in Portugal, we are well known by the hospitality that we all have. We are a country. First of all, Portuguese. We are people of the world. We are able. If you will always find a Portuguese person in all places in the world, and that's something that is cultural in Portugal. And in Portugal, the contacts that we have with Americans, that we have respect. I can say admiration also for Americans. Our culture, we for me, and I can speak for a lot of Portuguese people, we grew up with American movies and with American stars. A lot in Portugal, a lot of people sees NBA and NFL, and nowadays we have a lot of things that comes from America that we are able to see through Netflix or to all the things. So, and American people will be like other countries are always welcomed in Portugal. This is not, uh, we can say that in Portugal, like in the last years, everybody is talking about Portugal. Portugal became really well known. We have a lot of Hollywood stars that is living here in Portugal. We have a lot of singers and American singers and stars of America that are here in Lisbon, in Porto, and so the people that comes from abroad, they will feel comfortable in Portugal, and they
We
will.
can speak, we can say that for us, Jonathan, because we are
Yes,
truly immigrants. Like I'm a Brazilian and
yes,
I'm living
yes,
in Portugal for the past 5 years. You were also, you have family members that are immigrants. So,
yes, of
uh,
course, and of course, I come from, my families come from Africa, from Cape Verde Islands, and also from Holland in Europe. But in that mix, and I'm also, I have also Portuguese related because my family is also Portuguese, and it's like I said, I have family that lives all across the world, and they, when they come to Portugal, they feel really amazed because people are really nice. We are really chilled
and
people, and and hospitality. If
and
you go to countryside, you might be able to arrive in one day, and in the next day you are being invited to somebody's house to have lunch or dinner or something.
and it's very important also to say that Portugal is one of the most safe countries to live. You
Yes,
can walk easily at 11 or at night. You just go dinner and go home. You can walk without any fear. So this is something that most of the countries that we know that are coming to Portugal. One of the reasons is also because we are a safe country. They feel they're no afraid of anything. So this is also very very important to
and Paulo,
say.
just taking the opportunity, we have received some questions over the COVID situation right now. We know that Forbes said that Portugal is one of the safest place after COVID-19 to live in after that. But how is the situation? What's your perception over the situation right now, and what we can expect for a couple months?
Yes, right now the situation honestly is not good in Portugal because we open the holidays of Christmas, and because of the also the virus that came from other countries. So now the situation is not so good. We are closing the frontiers also with Brazil, with the UK, not with Americans, but we hope that these cases will, of course, after the vaccine, we are the doctors and old people are the first one to be vaccinated, and I hope that in March, it's my opinion, in March things already be more or less okay, because we don't know, nobody knows about this virus, and unfortunately there is a lot of people that wants to travel to Portugal and cannot right now. Okay.
yes, but this is something that we have to be honest. This is a pandemic, and it's all around the world. Only in New Zealand and Australia they are and Taiwan, they are living more peacefully at the moment. But here in Portugal, we had a track that was going quite good, but unfortunately in December things, because it's a cultural thing in Portugal, really people are really close to the Christmas, and New Year's Eve is also something that people are really used to, but unfortunately it happened. And we are talking in the winter time in Portugal. We don't have winter like winter, but this year it was colder than normally. We had something that happened in Europe that was a cold situation that came from the north to south. And all these together, it grew too fast, the numbers, but we are, I think we are in lockdown at the moment. Only some services is working, and we did it in order to allow us in March to start living a little bit more normal. And in this time, also Portugal is doing the vaccination. We have a task force that is working really hard on it, and they are working pretty fast to be able to, in the next 2-3 months, to have a huge amount of people in Portugal vaccinated.
And
So
this not prevent us to, also is important, it does not prevent us to work remotely for you, for everyone that wants to look for a property or to speak about immigration process. So
yes.
even with a lockdown, we are working full.
And also in the
So
field, because we have credentials that allow us to be working and driving, and to check everything that we need. We are able to do it because we are eligible to.
yes.
And talking, continue with what Oswaldo was saying. Of course, you can, one of the process starts to have a Portuguese fiscal number and open a bank account, and those things can be done without coming to Portugal. Okay, so that's a process can be done online to start any process, if it is a D2, a D7, or a golden visa.
Yeah.
Yes. And Paulo, check, because what you are talking about, also we have here how that Andrew was asking, that how long does closing on a house, acquiring proper documentation, takes currently on average. I would say that if you don't depend of bank credit financing, the process is really quick, because normally if you will be able to do it, I will think maybe in 1 month we are able to finish a process of acquiring a house. It depends if all the papers. The only thing is that if the owner still paying the bank loan, we always will have like 11 days that we will have to wait for some bank documentation, and then also the time to be able to go to a notarius that will be able to proceed. But in terms, if you don't depend on of a bank loan, I would say like 1 month.
Yeah.
1 month you will be able to do it.
And yes, for the golden visa process, or for a D2 or D7, I know that Oswaldo is here to explain, but it's very simple to say. The process can always start in where you are based, but you must come to Portugal to to finalize the process. You must travel. So the process can start in your country, but will finish here in our country.
Yeah. And with regards to we have a question for Rima. How long do you have to reside in Portugal during the process if you are applying for the student 7? So when we are talking about the golden visa, you are just required to stay 7 days per year. That's why most investors looking for the golden visa, because of this requirement of staying, the minimum staying. But when we are talking a long stay residence visa, the D2, D7, D4, so whatever, you need to stay at least 183 days in Portugal per year. But you can travel through the Schengen area because it's not considered that you are living Portugal. So if you want to spend 2 to 3 months in France, Spain, whether in the Schengen countries, you are allowed to stay there. So this is the only requirement that is different from the golden visa.
Yes. So more questions. I think I have some questions. It's more related for you, Oswaldo. It's if it is easy to learn to speak Portuguese, is mandatory to speak Portuguese after 5 years of golden visa.
Yes, after 5 years, I know will speak at least the basic level of Portuguese. But after 5 years, of residency, to apply for the permanent residency, or to apply for the citizenship, you must speak at least the basic of Portuguese. So, and you need to prove that. But this is not difficult. It's the minimum level, the minimum average for communication. So it's not so difficult to get that after 5 years living here.
Yes, because you have Portuguese people that is living here since they born, and then they don't know how to speak Portuguese properly. So don't worry with that.
Yeah, you will have your neighbors. You will have a lot of people trying. See, I can tell you that as an immigrant, as a Brazilian immigrant, Portuguese people are very kind and they are very welcoming when we are speaking about they want to integrate you on the community. They want to help you if you have any problems. So they are always available to help you. Usually for foreigner that doesn't speak Portuguese, but this is very good to hear about to know about the Portuguese people and Americans. I have many American clients, and the feedback about the Portuguese people, they are amazing. So don't worry about your integration in the community here.
Yeah. Some people are asking also, they have an online job. They work online in the United States, and they ask if they can come to Portugal and live in Portugal and continue with their work in the United States online. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe you know.
Yeah, and it's totally possible. When we are, if you are working remotely and you want to apply for a visa, it will depend on which this office in United States you will apply. But usually you will apply for the D2 visa, and you are required to present several documents that proves that you will keep your online business, or if you have contract with clients, if you have if you have any company that is your client, or if you are working for a company remotely, you need to ask for a declaration, a statement from this company stating that you're going to keep your remote job. So yes, it's best to apply for the D2. That if you check the requirements on the law, is the more applicable in this case.
Okay, and talking about a little bit about the new changes of the golden visa.
Yeah. We have been reached by the investors. We don't have the the final decreed law stating the terms of this restrictions and limitation on the coastal areas in Lisbon and Porto. But we know that by the Minister Council that they will proceed to the limitations of the areas eligible for the golden visa. Regarding the coastal areas, we don't know exactly where. Okay, we know that all the coastal areas will be won't be eligible anymore, but they want to promote the areas that have low density territory with a low density population. We don't know exactly the terms. We just know that the transitional period will start in July 1st. And if you are looking for the golden visa, the real estate golden visa, I recommend you to start the process as soon as possible before July, because you will prevent any problems with your future application or any limitation on your investment in the near future.
Yes, this is also some questions related to this is and how long will take to approve the application. Once the person decided to make the application, what is the procedure, the next steps, I would say. So this is, you can also
usually
explain a bit about it.
Unfortunately, due to the COVID-19 situation, we are facing a lot of problems with the border service, unfortunately. And so we like to be very honest with our clients. So we are not selling you any dreams or anything. We just want to sell the truth. We would just want to tell the truth. So when we are talking about the border service, it's really difficult to estimate time right now. Because we don't have the possibility to schedule new appointments. But the most important thing is to start the process. So you can start the buying process. You can buy the property, and you need to rush with the application for the border service, because as soon as you start the application, you can ensure that you are inside this transitional period. So that's important. But usually the process for the residency is taking 9 months to the completion.
Okay. I see also one question is what kind of Americans do we have in Portugal? I can say that we have Americans from Texas, from Orlando, from California, from everywhere. I think Americans are, well, when we read the news, the Americans are not only coming to Portugal, they also going to Costa Rica, some to Greece, another to Spain, and another
Mexico.
to Mexico, another to Portugal. So we have most of them are retired, and also investors that want to do business here, and also those that want to work remotely. They can work in any part of the world, and they feel that Portugal is a safe country, and they will like to be here and live here.
Yes, and we have a lot of people that works in the digital areas that is coming to Portugal, because Portugal also is creating a lot of hubs here and that is something that a lot of Americans that are coming to Portugal to work on them platforms and projects, and because we have also Google came to Portugal, and a lot of that's something that we are feeling in lately.
Okay, there is here a question. This, I think this is also very important. Is if American citizenship is allowed to be American ship, or they have to renounce the, the American citizenship to have the Portuguese residency?
Yeah, in the past years, we know that many Americans that lives abroad, they have renounced their citizenship mostly because of uh, financial situation due to taxation. But in general, you don't need to renounce your citizenship in United States Portuguese citizenship. So you are not required to renounce that. Paulo, I think there we have a question for you.
Okay.
So talking about we're going to be back, but we have reached by what do you consider when you are reached by Americans? What do you consider they are looking for in Portugal right now in terms of places to live? Not only retirees, but families. What do you
Yes.
what's your viewing about this new situation about Americans immigrants?
So there is the immigrants with the kids, with children. They need to be near good school. If they can pay private schools that international schools that speak English, they and if the children are older, is the best solution. If the children are not so are younger, let's say 2 3 years old, they can go to a public school easily. This is one thing. Another thing is the retired people or people that no more have kids or never had kids. They prefer the countryside or being near the sea. Okay, so the places they choose are choosing now is the middle of Portugal. Let's say between we say Coimbra is the between Lisbon and Porto, okay, and even in the north after Porto, there is a lot of people looking for houses with land, with garden, with swimming pool. Um, this is what they are looking for. And then, if they are near the city, a city with, as Oswaldo says, with a good hospital, if they are near the beach, if they are near the sea, if they are near restaurants, if they are near shopping, even better. But they like to be in a house with the garden, with a big garden preference. So this is what we are finding
And
to live. Okay, because for investment they prefer the cities because they know that if they are buying in the cities, they will not lose money because it's I can say Porto or Lisbon. If you buy in Porto and Lisbon, is always Lisbon is the capital. If they invest, they and then after they rent the apartment or the house, they will not lose money.
And in terms of, I know that you have been guiding many Americans across the country. And what do you consider? And we know that there's many situation Americans when come and want to invest in Portugal. We know that in America, usually you have a different situation when we are talking about buildings, about investing, or about new projects. So, to Americans that are looking to invest in properties, in lands that wants to construct, they have an idea to invest. So, what do you recommend? Do you think it's feasible? Do you think it's possible to what they need to be aware when they come with a project and they want to invest in a project in like in the countryside to promote the tourism in these areas?
Yes, I think not only on the countryside, but everywhere. I know that Americans they rent for 6 months normally, and then they travel alone. They travel all to know Portugal, in the north and southern, to decide where to live. But once they decide where to live, it's very important to not to buy without an advice. That's why RAX, my company, we are a buyer agent. We work as a buyer agent, and we can provide all the service in order to the Americans buy something without risk, and they will know, like in America. In America, they know exactly what they are buying. Okay, here in Portugal, there is a lot of papers. There is a lot. The land, they can say it's rural, it's urban, but you don't know if you can build or not. That is not so easy to explain. And a seller wants to sell, okay, and so sometimes they don't explain everything. That's why my advice to all Americans that wants to come to Portugal to live or to invest is to find a buyer agent that help them do the due diligence necessary to buy a good property with no risk. In the company, we have architects, we have builders that can check also the state of the construction, and we have lawyers to see all the documentation. So I said on the beginning, we are a service provider, a company. So that means what? Besides being a buying agent, if they need anything else, we are here to help and to achieve the dream of many Americans in living in Portugal.
Okay, thank you, Paulo. I think we are in the end of our webinar.
There is a question here. This Mr. Cesar Gutierrez is somebody that contact me on Facebook. I remember he wanted to attend, and thank you for attending this webinar. He says, "Do you have to pay a mortgage in full when you buy a home or condominium, or can you have a loan like a 30 years old mortgage?" Do you want to answer, Oswaldo, about the mortgage? Because if it is, it always depends if it is a golden visa or not. So, but you can answer.
Yeah, regarding the mortgage, you can have a loan, 30 years mortgage, but this is only applicable for when you're buying a property, not for the golden visa. If you're going to buy for the golden visa, you need to invest at least the minimum requirement by that applicable golden visa. So, so in terms, if you're investing a 500,000 euros property, you need to apply these 500,000, and you can have a mortgage for the additional that you want to invest to refurbish, or if you're buying a property that is more expensive, so you can have a mortgage. And you can have like a 30 years mortgage. This is very common now in Portugal. We have negative rates, so it's very feasible, and it's if you have a good background in United States, it's easy to get a loan on a bank in Portugal.
Yes.
Okay, I think you're right. I think We hope to answer all your questions, but you have the contact. You can continue to have your questions, and we will be happy to answer you and to do the follow-up, and we will contact you for sure. Okay, and thank you again for attending our webinar. We will do more these events. It's our idea. Next time probably we will start to do something more specific. This webinar was let's say not so specific. It's just to people to have an idea of the potential of the what they can have. But if people want to speak with us in a specific case, they can we can talk with them easily anytime. But we will have more webinars about specific situations. Okay.
Yes, and everybody can be able to check our website. Also to check, can send us. It was being sent our emails. You can ask whatever you need to know, or all the questions that is needed. Afterwards, we will be able to provide you the follow-up, and any question that you need, we are here without no problems.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
We're
very
looking
much.
forward to hear from you, and we are available on our email. You can contact us via Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp. So we have all these channels to contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
And
Take
care.
If
bye bye.
possible, to complete the pool that with some questions related to this webinar. If you are able to do it, just a quick time is really quick. Thank you very much. It will be helpful for us. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.